This is a true story. On May 14, 2018, Sichuan Airlines Flight 8633, with 119 passengers on board, took off from Chongqing heading to Lhasa. However, shortly after reaching cruising altitude, a crack suddenly appeared on the first officer's windshield. This unexpected event unsettled both captains. The captain instructed the first officer to consult the emergency manual and find an emergency response plan. Meanwhile, they reported the situation to air traffic control and requested an emergency landing at the nearest Chengdu airport. However, before receiving a response from air traffic control, the windshield shattered. The tremendous pressure difference instantly pulled the first officer out of the window, and glass debris caused both engines to lose power. Inside the cabin, flight attendants assumed it was just turbulence and reassured passengers while reminding them to fasten their seatbelts. At this critical moment, the first officer was partially hanging outside the aircraft with his life in jeopardy. The captain attempted to pull him back into the cabin, but was thwarted by the powerful airflow. The top priority was to stabilize the aircraft and lower the altitude. Simultaneously, the air traffic control tower repeatedly called Flight 8633, but there was no response. They noticed the descent rate was exceeding 3,000 meters per minute, which could result in a collision with the snow-covered mountains. In the midst of the crisis, the captain pulled the control stick upwards, pulling the rapidly descending plane upwards as well. The first officer managed to return to his seat due to the inertia. The intense reverse inertia caused the second officer to crash onto the floor. Struggling to rise, he made his way to the cockpit with the assistance of passengers and flight attendants, and promptly closed the cockpit door. Both captains were by now severely deprived of oxygen and had turned purple from the cold. The second officer first helped them put on oxygen masks and then issued the emergency code 7700. On the ground, the control center activated the emergency plan, shutting down all flights at Chengdu Airport and clearing both runways to ensure the safe landing of Flight 8633.